Good evening and welcome to the Reel McCoy, your weekly movie podcast. I am Mephisto, your host, and with me, my co-host, my hetero life mate, Oh My Feelings. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, buddy.
What is the Reel McCoy? The Reel McCoy is your weekly movie podcast where we send you off to watch a movie. You watch it, you come back to us, we talk about it, we geek it out, and in the meantime, kind of entertain you with a few games and stuff to work with. Today, we're going to talk about Django Unchained. We continue the Tarantino month, minus the When Harry Met Sally, which you can watch on the VODs on this channel, Miss Mephisto's Movie Reviews, and check it out. It's awesome. So, leave a like, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you're not watching us live, it helps us very, very much. Django Unchained. Well, it's been quite a viewing, Django Unchained, for me. How was you viewing of it this week? You watched it twice.
Yes, as I told you, best, I completely forgot how fucking long this movie is.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
My
2 hours and 45 minutes.
Yep. My viewing of it came in basically two parts. I started because I was working on the short shorts. Well, I always work on the short shorts sometimes. So I was working on the short shorts and I literally ran out of time at work. So went back home, was intended to continue the next day, but I kind of ran into it on Netflix. I didn't know it was on Netflix.
Yeah.
So I was an hour into it and got in, and I was like, I told Mrs. Meth, I know you don't like to watch this, but I really need to finish this. So she's like, yeah, let's go. So I finished the last an hour and a half, hour 45. And
we're gonna talk about pacing in this movie.
Let me tell you, before we dive deep into this, because I have some issues that I would like to discuss.
Oh, I've
And
got a lot of issues with this one too.
before we start, let's just dive into our first segment, and it is called Behind the Screens.
Production take 2.
Behind the Screens is where we go to Oh My Feelings and we defer to his notes. So give us the lowdown on Behind the Screens.
So originally, Tarantino came up with this idea while he was actually writing a book about Sergio Corbucci, the father of the spaghetti western. He wanted to write a spaghetti western-esque type film based in the American South.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Makes sense. The movie does feel like a spaghetti western, an old,
Yep.
and also with the pacing as well, if you
Yes.
noticed.
Yes. And also, like, if you even go to the title, there are so many heavy homages to Corbucci's work, to also the film Mandingo, and also the film called it was Angel Unchained. But
Okay.
to Corbucci's films, the first and foremost, the one that pays the biggest homage is Django.
Oh, okay. There was
The
a
film
film.
named Django. Yes.
Okay.
Which
Awesome.
we're gonna get to a character later where you're gonna go, oh, okay, that makes sense now. That scene makes sense. The
Okay.
Great Silence.
I'm not really like the only spaghetti westerns I know is the Stranger trilogy, which is Handful of Dollars, Good Bad and the Ugly, and another one which I forgot.
Yeah.
They're all with Clint Eastwood as
Eastwood,
the
yeah.
Stranger,
Yes.
or
The other
Blondie, or
one
whatever.
is actually Hercules Unchained. Do
Interesting.
you see the big thing where
and
Django
Hercules
Unchained?
Yeah.
And the fact that they mentioned Black Hercules and
Yeah.
Got it now.
Got it. I got it. I got it. Okay.
There were two very prominent actors at the time that were actually offered the role of Django but turned it down. The most notable one of those was Will Smith.
I can see how he turned it down. Okay.
Will Smith turned it down only because I wasn't the lead in the movie. That was his reasoning. True quote.
Okay.
Very true quote.
Okay.
The other person was Michael K. Williams, which I think would have been amazing in that
Who's
role.
Michael K. Williams?
You ever seen The Wire?
Oh, right. The guy with the scar.
Yep.
Oh, he would have been great in this fucking movie.
Yes. Would have less levity, more general menace.
Oh. What was his character in The Wire? Is it Marcus? Not Marcus. Muhammad? No. I don't remember the name. The guy. The guy was shot with the trench coat and shotgun. You know the guy. Me and names. See? Me and names. Right. Next.
We're moving on. I'm not gonna no.
You're not gonna tell me?
Nope. I'm gonna let you.
Yeah, he died. He died
one.
like last year, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, 2022. Well, by the way,
not last year.
We discussed it. Yeah, we discussed it like backstage.
5 minutes ago, backstage. Yeah.
Yeah. 2022 seems very much like 2016. We are starting off big. Rough. I mean, you can technically put Betty White in 2022, but you know, we'll give it to 2021 technically. Yes. But Meatloaf, Sidney Poitier, Louis Anderson,
yeah.
Who else? God,
I would say Meatloaf and Louis were kind of the bigger two hits. The ones that were kind of unexpected. It was kind of expected that Sidney Poitier
Bob Saget and Bob Saget.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Oh, yeah. Bob Saget. Yeah.
See, I told you it's Omar. It's Omar Little. I told you it's Muhammad.
Don't help him.
No, help me, chat. Help me, chat. You are here to help me help you. Thank you, chat. Thank you. You're awesome.
but so we're gonna move on from that point. There
Yeah.
were actually several characters that were in the final script that they had actually already planned to film for, but they had never really had to cut. One was a character named Ace Woodley. Uh, oddly enough,
Ace Woodley.
yes, he was supposed to be Mr. Candy's right hand man, Calvin Candy.
Oh, and they exchanged it for Samuel
And
L. Jackson's
no, no,
character.
no, no. What actually happened was they were. He was supposed to be the one who arranged all the Mandingo fights.
Okay.
Then Kevin Costner had to drop out due to another role. Then they brought on Kurt Russell to play Ace.
Oh.
Then Kurt Russell had to drop. Then when they did, they decided to scrap the character altogether, tie in some of his lines to Walter Goggins' character,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Billy
Because
Crash.
it seems like Walter Goggins' character was kind of filling that role, but not really, because he didn't have anything really to do with
Doing it,
Mandingos other
yeah.
than like using the whip.
Otherwise, then also being a massive piece of shit. But
In real life,
um,
I wonder.
oh no, Walter Goggins. No, Walter Goggins is apparently a very very nice man.
Yeah,
No, I was talking about the character Peter,
yeah,
about Billy
yeah, yeah.
Crash. But moving on. Sacha Baron Cohen was also offered a role that Jonah Hill previously had turned down called Scotty Harmony. Now we're going to get to why Jonah Hill's in the movie later, but Jonah Hill
Okay.
had to turn down the role to be in a movie called War Dogs, which was a terrible film, by the way. Um, but then it was offered to Sacha Baron Cohen the role of Scotty Harmony, but then Sacha Baron Cohen had turned it down so he could actually be in Les Miserables.
Dude,
This and the whole
musicals
thing, I
musicals
know,
should be sent to a pile of dust and burn in the ashes
which is
of whatever. It's
you say
the
that
other way
we have
around.
a
But oh
musical
my god.
coming up in a couple of months. You know that, right?
For the record, I'm being forced against my will to do this.
I'm
But
saying we have a musical coming
as
up,
of
so
like the almighty Beta Fett says, respect. Right,
we
let's
speak.
go. Respect. Fuck that. Oh, dude, can I go into a rant, please? Can I go into a rant unrelated to the podcast?
Okay,
I've
go
been wanting
ahead,
to
but
do
then
this.
I
I
have
wanted
more
to do
lines
this
to
for.
say,
I've
but go
been wanting to do
rant.
this for a while. Like, I'm sure you're not watching Boba Fett. I'm not technically watching Boba Fett, but yeah, I'm watching from the
Well,
sidelines.
given the metrics, not a lot of people are watching Boba Fett anyway.
2022, along with killing Peter Bogdanovich as well. Thank you, Biffer, and and so many others. It literally, figuratively, and utterly destroyed Boba Fett. Now, I've said this before, maybe in private, maybe on this podcast before, but oh my god, look, Boba Fett was a very menacing character in Empire Strikes Back. It was not done good in my own spelling and my own intonation. Not done good in Return of the Jedi. I'm well aware of that.
They
But
done did bad.
other than that, seriously, all you Boba Fett dick writers out there that had their fill in the prequels and the backstory of Boba Fett, go fuck yourself. And whoever wanted Boba Fett in The Mandalorian, go fuck yourself. And the result is Book of Boba Fett. Go fuck yourself with this fucking character. Go to hell, stay in the Sarlacc pit, and burn for 1,000 years. Go fuck yourself. Thank you.
So I'm
Django
getting the
Unchained.
general impression that you liked it.
If I
No,
wasn't even
no, that face enough.
if I
That's all you
wasn't
needed
even
was that
if
face.
I was even close to liking it, The Power Rangers on motorcycles killed it. Move on. Respect.
Power Rangers on. That's
Have
why
you
I'm never
seen
gonna
it?
watch it.
It's
Nope.
terrible. They
That's
could
why I'm
catch
never
COVID
gonna watch
19 for all
it.
I care. Thank you, Bifford. Thank you. Thank you. Fuck that show. Fuck that show. Fuck that show. I am done. I am so done. If I wasn't done before, if I wasn't done by the prequels time, I am so fucking done. I
Done
am
now.
done. Fuck that show. And who did it? Fucking Disney.
Yeah.
Oh, just wait. Just wait
Were
for
you surprised by this? I mean,
just just wait for a screen fighter. Just wait. Right. Let's go.
okay. Okay. All right.
Django Unchained. Let's
So,
start off
no,
with
no.
let's Jonah Hill and we'll start.
So at that point where Jonah Hill was actually supposed to play the role of Scotty Harmony, Jonah Hill had turned it down due to War Dogs. Awful movie. Then Sacha Baron Cohen was going to pick up that role. Now, Scotty Harmony was going to be the one who was the gambler. That
Mhm.
It was supposed to be a backstory for Calvin Candy, to have the Leonardo DiCaprio's role a bit more fleshed out, because he
Mhm.
was supposed to win Broomhilda or Hildy from Scotty in a poker game.
Oh, okay.
Now they had to cut the role because Jonah Hill turned it down due to a terrible movie, and then Sacha Baron Cohen had turned it down due to Les Miserables, another terrible movie. But we're not going to talk about that.
Move on,
Then
move
they
on, move
eventually
on.
decided to go ahead and cut it
Yeah.
completely.
It doesn't really make sense, and it will only elongate the movie by 5 minutes to do a poker scene that, eh, frankly, you don't need it. It's
Yeah,
fine.
overall, yeah, not much.
Yeah.
Yeah, from there, the last real couple of notes that I have is Django's valet blue suit. The terrible, like a crushed velvet kind of suit.
Yes.
It was so funny because the costume director joked one time with Tarantino because he was looking at pictures of Thomas Gainsborough's famous
Mhm.
paintings, and one of
Mhm.
them is called the Blue Boy. He goes, "How dumb would it be if we put that in a movie?"
Oh no. Oh no.
Bap 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 bap.
Bop, 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 bop. Yeah.
Costume direction on that one.
Yes.
The movie overall had a $100 million budget.
Really?
Gross overall, $425 million.
That's pretty nice.
Now the big reason why?
Uh, Came out at a good date, I guess.
No,
What?
it was the first Tarantino film that was allowed to be filmed in and shown around all theaters in China.
Really?
Yep. No
But the
other Tarantino
Chinese?
film
Oh, I know
prior
why.
to it.
I know why. I know
Why do
why.
you why? Why do you think? I'll
There's
tell
a
you exactly
very
why.
nasty reason why it's a guess. It's a
No, no,
guess.
please,
Okay.
please. Go ahead.
So, uh the Chinese, as much as we like to not the Chinese government, the Chinese people are, in mild terms, supremely racist. Not only racist against black people, they're racist against any people who are even mildly tan colored. I'm not joking. It's a true fact.
That's very
There
true.
is a very nasty word in Chinese to describe anyone who is even off color. And it's all like it could be Middle Eastern, Spanish, up to like the darkest of darks, right? It's called a dark devil in
Yeah,
Mandarin. You know the word. It's called
I know.
dark devil.
I know.
It's not really the N word, but it's kind of is.
A
Now
little
they
pejorative.
really don't like black people. Really don't.
But
I don't know
you know
why.
what's funny? What's funny is you're wrong, but you're wrong for almost a different reason, because there's also the reason why it was chosen was very negative.
I'm coming to that. It's just a theory. It's not something it's a guess. It's not something I know because it was marketed as a kind of a derogatory film towards black people, meaning a lot of N words, a lot of, you don't know what trailers they've seen compared to what you've seen in the
Uh-huh.
West. So it might have been that the trailer was cut in a certain way to highlight the fact that Dr. Schultz is the main character and Candy from Candyline. Candy is the main antagonist, and
Yeah.
Django is sort of uh, a side character.
Yeah.
All right. It wouldn't be a surprise to me. Again, it's not something I know, but it's something I'm guessing. But I do know that the Chinese, by the way, the Japanese as well, very racist. Like compared to us, very racist.
To that point, no. But you're not far off for negative reasons. They allowed it to be filmed because it highlights the most contentious and negative time in American history. It portrays America in a negative light. So the Chinese government went, okay,
Okay.
go ahead.
Fine.
Go ahead.
I'm not mistaken about the racist part, by the way.
Oh, no, you're
But
not.
I get it. All right. So
Sociologically, no.
cutting things short. Oh, by the way, let's go into it. Okay. Let's go really into it.
Okay. So the first thing I wanted to get to was right off the bat. The last note that I had was the old Columbia shot that they had at the beginning.
Okay.
The Columbia films. Remember,
Yeah.
like if you watch it,
Yeah.
then the text shown up directly inspired, if not outright stolen from Carbucci.
Awesome.
Watch any spaghetti western, you're like, oh, I recognize that.
Yeah. Thank you, Saf. The podcast will not be 3 hours. Trust me, we're gonna blitz through this movie.
It's gonna go really fast because there's a lot of this movie you can skip over.
Yeah, there's a lot of this. A lot of the movie is very, very skippable if you've watched it again. And we're not going to touch about every single bit of point in, like, it won't be Pulp Fiction. Far from it, because a lot of the shots, a lot of the plot points in this movie are one and done. Let's talk about Dr. Schultz, because it's Dr. Schultz from the start until even after the like training montage. I would say all that can be skipped and said. Dr. Schultz for me is the best character in this movie. He is the smartest one.
100%. And what I love about that is he also fits the narrative or the theory that you had before about Tarantino in writing his, especially the characters that use epithets.
Yes.
Where he is, when he uses the N-word or any kind of racial epithet or any kind of even derogatory language against another person, he only does so when he's trying to portray someone that these other assholes would get along with. Besides that, he has made his point that he's adamantly against slavery. He hates the brutality of it. He hates everything about, like, he hates absolutely everything about the inherent system and the way everything is currently in the United States. He even says in the bar scene with Django, he says, I detest slavery, but unfortunately in this set of circumstances, I have to use this to my advantage, because otherwise I don't know if you would stay with me. But I can tell you right now, if you help me find out where the Brittle brothers are, once they're dead, you're free.
Yeah.
I'll give you $50. You can keep the horse. That's it.
And like I said, he is the smartest. He is smarter than everybody in the room.
Oh yeah.
But I'm gonna give it to Django himself. Django himself is not dumb. Django himself is very smart,
not at all.
very opportunistic. and he knows a good thing when he sees it, and he sees it in Dr. Schultz as his not only his way out of like being free, getting his wife back, and being rich all at the same time.
Yes.
Plus, he is absorbing his
Yeah,
skill set.
he's his mentor throughout all of
Yes,
this.
it's complete mentor mentee
T.
type of
Yes.
relationship,
Mhm.
and Django is smart enough to realize what's going on. He is embracing it. He is complete. He is going with Dr. Schultz with his plan, and he is detesting the same things. He is learning the not really the language, but the way Dr. Schultz operates as a stranger in a strange land,
Yes.
taking his values and coercing
Mhm.
whoever he meets into his game.
Yeah. And also, in so many ways too, I love the fact that Waltz plays Dr. Schultz as more of almost a near Machiavellian character. Where he has, if you were to think of any situation as a game of chess, he's 5 moves ahead of absolutely everyone else, and that is quintessential in the bar scene where they first get to that first town with
Yeah.
Django. And again, we're gonna hop back and forth because we're gonna go through this movie
Yeah,
pretty
we're
fast.
like
But
everybody's went to go watch it. Now they're going to listen to us go
yes,
jumping back and forth. We're going to jump in because we said he's smart. And we said he's ready for everything. Case in point, this whole bit, it's not a full scene, but this whole bit is after
the
Django
bagheads. Yes, yeah,
with the crevasse kills the three brothers with in Big Daddy's farm.
yeah.
Big
And it
Daddy
has.
and the
But
clan go
I was gonna
out
say
to
it does have one of the big lines from the movie, which Saf will agree with, was when um, Django when he shoots one of the Brittle brothers and says, "I like the way you die, boy."
yeah,
That's one of the big lines from this movie.
yeah, yeah.
Have to pay
Consequently,
tribute to that.
it
But
is in
this
it
scene
is
in
in the
itself,
short for some reason. I
yes.
don't know what it is.
But this scene, by the way, it is quintessential Tarantino dark humor that started really in Kill Bill.
I
Because
really wanted to discuss this part.
yeah, no,
This
please,
part for me is the most hilarious part of the entire movie. I'm not
yeah,
even joking. The fact that these guys are out on a lynching and they're stopping, and all they can think about is the holes in their mask that
I can't see shit.
and the fact that they're trying to fix the holes and they rip it and then oh we need
He goes, oh no, no, fuck, I made it worse.
yeah and then it happens again
Yeah,
and
and
somebody says well like the fuck with these fucking things nobody brought an extra bag
egg.
man
And
and
if the
it's
one guy, he's like, my wife spent all day making these, and it was actually, what's really funny is that's Don Johnson playing Big Daddy, the
yeah
fucking lead character from
yeah
fucking Miami Vice, and he's like,
yeah
well, listen, we have to wear the bags for the raid. It's like, but we can't see shit. Like, it doesn't matter if we can see shit as long as the horses can see shit. Like, but
exactly
wait,
and the
aren't you
whole
trying to shoot at people?
yeah and also
Or
the thing is what I was trying to get is this whole bit where they literally it's a ridicule of the clan,
yeah,
but in the setting itself where you can not do this scene and still maintain a cohesive storyline with Django. Dr. Schultz he knew Big Daddy and the lynch mob are gonna come, so he was ready to like explode and ignite that cart.
yeah, because
He was
he took the
ready.
cash out of the tooth and put a whole bunch of dynamite
Yeah,
in the tooth.
yeah,
Yeah,
right. The next thing is this Smitty Bacall. Smitty Bacall,
and the Bacall
the
gang. Yeah,
moral the moral choice that Django has to make because Dr. Schultz is really not really, he's forcing him to make that choice. It's like, this is worth a lot of money. You said you would, like, you wanted to be a bounty hunter. This is what bounty hunters do.
Yeah,
This is
and
your
this
moral
this is also,
choice.
to be fair too, this is after the conversation that they had about him being Siegfried
Yeah.
in the
This is
story
after, yeah, they,
Brunhilde. Yeah.
yeah. That's after they were sitting around in a like little canyon and they were
So at that
discussing
point in time, they'd already.
Brunhilde and Siegfried and the whole German. It's a opera. Is it an opera or a story?
It's
It's a
technically
myth. It's a myth.
it's a
It's a
myth,
mythology
legend.
thing, but
Yeah.
I think it was made into an opera as well.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
Yeah.
But the more important thing is that Django had already signed up and agreed to this pact together,
Yes.
where Django agreed to the terms of, I'm going to help you kill these people.
Yeah.
I'm going to learn from you. And then from there, I'm going to get my wife back. I'm going to get my life back. We're going to go our separate ways then. Everything's fine. So him right now backing down is Schultz reminding him going, hey, do you still want to get your wife back? Because this
Yeah.
is the way you have to do it. You said you would be willing to do anything, and I saw you kill without hesitation before. Now you want to hesitate?
Yeah. Is it the child that's in the way? It's
Way?
the fact that he is reformed now and he
Yeah.
has a family doesn't mean he didn't kill those
Kill
people in the
people? Yeah.
stagecoach. Exactly. It's sort of like
And
um the dichotomy here, right?
mhm.
You know what's at stake. Also, like for you and for me as well, right?
Well, what's also really funny too is the fact that Django has one of those final conversations with Dr. Schultz on the way to Candyland outside, where he's the one who's harassing all of the slaves on the way to Candyland, where
Mhm.
he goes, let me talk to my compatriot for a moment. He goes, you need to calm down for a second. Django reminds him,
Oh,
he said, correct me if I'm wrong, but as someone once told me, if you're going to get in this world, you're going to have to get dirty. And that's what I'm doing. I'm getting dirty.
yeah,
And
exactly. And
Schultz himself, he says, well, to be fair, you're paraphrasing.
yeah, and that's the smart. That's what I like about how Tarantino wrote Dr. Schultz,
Yeah.
and I like is it Klaus? Not Klaus. God damn it. The name of the actor? This guy, Dr. Schultz. This dude,
Uh, Christoph Waltz.
Christoph Waltz.
Yeah.
So how Christoph Waltz is, let's say he's very different from what he did
Inglorious Bastards. Yeah.
Inglorious Bastards. So different.
Hmm.
So different. That's an actor. That's a guy who embraces that role, regardless of n words and shit. Right. That that scene was a little bit forward. I'm gonna go back because you wanted to talk about the Mandingo scene, and I'm not gonna show too much blood, but this is the
No,
setting. It's
that's the
the
scene. No, that is
yeah, no,
perfect.
no. That is the scene, but this is the setting. There, I can show a lot more blood and
No, but
guts and stuff.
this
Yeah.
is the shot that I wanted.
Oh, awesome. Cool.
Exactly.
Okay,
Because
go ahead.
Luigi, they called him Luigi.
Hmm.
His name is actually Franco Nero.
Franco Nero, the
He,
actor.
yeah, the actor, he actually played the original Django. So when he
Oh,
asked him, so what's your name, Django? He asked him to spell it, and then he says the D is silent, and that's when Luigi goes, I know, and then walks away. It's like, ah, film
so
nerd over here.
yeah. So
Homage to homage to homage. I'm like, oh, that's cool. I
it's
remember
like
geeking the fuck out in the like in the theater when I was watching it for the first time. I'm like, holy shit, that's awesome! And everyone's like, why is that cool?
Yeah, exactly. Like I would have said, "Wow, what just happened?"
Yeah,
But if it was like the Daniel Craig is Bond and I don't know, Sean Connery on the side playing a different character and asking what's your name, it's like
name
Bond, James
Bond.
Bond. And Sean Connery's character would have been like nodding and leaving, something like that, you
Yeah,
would
it's
say.
akin to that. Yeah,
Yeah. But I get it, but I have no attachment to it. I get why Tarantino did this because this is so Tarantino is unreal to put a character that he loved in a movie that nobody heard about. Yes, I know you have, but not a lot of people have heard about or seen, and putting him in a character and putting him in a situation where it's sort of a meta, right? It's sort of meta to do this, and it's fun and exciting, and it happens a lot
thought.
in
Yeah.
later movies of Tarantino. Like in Kill Bill, I'm sure it was at
Ugh.
least 7 or 8 different references, maybe even more that
Um.
I personally didn't get because I don't like certain movies.
Well, I know
Uh,
you're not a big You're not a big Kurosawa fan, so
no, I'm not a big Kurosawa fan. I have seen them, but I
yeah,
to tell you that I get the references,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Having Sonny Chiba show up in Kill Bill it was just like, oh man, that's cool as shit.
yeah. I love the fact that for some people, Tarantino can be can enhance the movie itself with those little references for just the movie buffs. I mean, I'm a
Yeah.
movie buff and I'm missing a whole bunch of stuff. Like have you seen like French films? Probably not. I've seen them. Do I like them? No, but I have seen them. Kurosawa films. I've seen a lot of Kurosawa films. I don't remember most of them. But yeah, but at least I know I was witness to some sort of I don't know, greatness, I would say,
Yeah.
in some
I would say
cases.
this is a perfect point for us to let's wrap up the scene because the
Yeah.
the Mandingo fighting scene and that subsequent scene right after it before their trip to Candyland. This is what I would like to call like the big split in the movie because it literally goes from this one scene where they're rambling and it's just this this mentor mentee relationship. It's almost a montage of a man becoming a killer.
Yeah.
That's what it's really all about. Then from there, it becomes a straight on movie in itself, where they could have Tarantino. Honestly, he could have added those extra couple of scenes that we mentioned that they had cut out by
Yeah.
rehiring actors, and then made it literally Django Unchained Part One and Two. And granted, they
Oh
wouldn't be
yeah.
two 2 hour films; they would have been two 1.5 hour films, but they would have been more digestible than this because oh boy, we're gonna talk the
Yeah.
plotting in this movie is all over the place.
Yeah, I know. I know. It kind of feels like after an hour, I think it's hour and 5 or hour and 10, it kind of ends and then it starts like from the Mandingo up to what like the whole Candyland storyline,
Yeah.
which you know, it's rough. It's a rough watch. Not like it's something that I don't like in the Tarantino movies at all, in the new ones. All right. It's a good time to stop for us as
What we're
well
gonna say.
as we begin our first segment of the night, which is Missing Marquee. What is Missing Marquees? Very simple. I put up 10 posters of movies. They have their text written off, and the chat and all my feelings are gonna guess which movie this is. I've went through them all once, and they are easy. So give
Okay, let's
give
see.
me a break.
Let's
All
see.
right.
Batman and Robin.
Batman and Robin.
Is this Close Encounters of the Third Kind?
Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Yes, I know, guys. This is a rough one. If you get this one,
It's not. God, it's not Time Cop.
it's not Time Cop.
Oh, it's one of those
Get on this, chat. Get on
B
this.
versions of Jean-Claude. Shit.
It's not Quest.
It's not Bloodsport.
It's not Bloodsport. I think, if I'm not mistaken, this is the first Van Damme movie I've ever seen. The second one being Kickboxer, by the way.
Wow. No, then.
No, chat doesn't know. Nobody knows. Wow. This is called Cyborg.
Never seen it. Yeah. Mars Attacks.
It's
Come
terrible.
on.
Mars Attacks. Did I say easy? I meant some of them were easy.
Yeah, I was going to say. Oh, boy.
I fucking hate this movie, by the way.
That's. Oh, God. What the fuck
This
is her
movie,
name?
this movie is right up your alley, by the way.
It's Kirsten Dunst, right?
It is Kirsten Dunst.
Melancholia.
Melancholia. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Where is it? Where is it?
Terrible movie.
There we go. Right. Terrible movie, by the way. Yes. Are you stomped in this one?
No, I for all of a sudden I just forgotten the name of the movie. I don't know. I don't know why. I know exactly what it is, but
damn, I know this one.
Baby. Don't know why. I'm drawing a blank.
No,
Holy
everybody's drawing a blank. This movie won an Oscar, a couple of Oscars.
$100. It's $1 Million Baby.
$1 Million Baby, a baby,
Yeah.
baby. Did I say easy? I really meant some of it's easy. This movie came out in 1980.
Fuck.
Is that the
Last Starfighter?
It is not The Last Starfighter. Yes, thank you. Biffer is the king. Black Hole.
From there, you're just using fucking context clues.
Again, did I say easy? I meant I suckered you in with the easy parts.
You are a giant.
Biffer is the king.
I'm going to see you next Tuesday on this one, my friend.
You'll see me next Tuesday.
Is it the Blob?
The Blob.
Yeah. Oh, fuck. This movie's awful.
Yes, this movie is terrible. Terrible.
It's not Aeon Flux, but it's also one of the
it's
W.S. Anderson movies that are all.
By the way, if it was the Aeon Flux movie, it would have been better than the Aeon Flux movie.
Yeah, it's the one where she's a vampire. It's a whole. It's you find out it's all about vampires.
No, she's not a vampire. No, she's not really a vampire.
Nope.
It is called Ultraviolet.
Ultraviolet. Yeah.
Yes. Last one. I think it's 1982.
Who is that? Is that James?
That is James Dean.
Caan?
No, not James Caan. It's the guy, James. What's his face? See? Now I forgot his name.
I'm fucking
surprise,
with you,
surprise.
Why. It's James Woods.
James Woods, yes. Did I say 1982? I meant 1982. As well,
yeah. Is that the first version of A Scanner Darkly?
No.
That would have been a good poster for that, though.
I haven't seen this movie in a long while. I don't even remember the plot. Chat is tomped.
No. This one I don't know.
It's called Videodrome.
Videodrome. Holy shit. That's a deep
Yes.
cut.
That
That's a
is a
good
deep
one.
cut.
That's a
That
good
is a
one.
deep cut.
That's a
Yeah, yeah,
really
yeah.
good one.
It's another one of those dystopian future type
That's
deals.
actually Sap,
I
you should
should
go watch that. You would absolutely love that fucking movie.
I think I need to rewatch it. I
Yeah.
think if I remember correctly, I really loved it. Sort of the same genre as Blade Runner, but not really. Sort of that kind of cyberpunky dystopian future thing.
Yeah.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, I
Yep.
may have been thinking of something else, but
Yep, that's its
yeah,
Videodrome. Drome.
yes, Videodrome. All right, cool. Back to Django. Back to Django, and I want to have not the Mandingo scene, this scene with D'Artagnan.
Yes.
With
Good, because
D'Artagnan.
I've got notes for this scene. You're gonna love it.
I'm
Ah.
gonna love it. So, tell me, who is Leonardo DiCaprio gonna take his $500 from?
Well.
Yes.
Now, you missed one bit. One
Yeah.
of the trackers that was pulling away the dogs,
Yes.
Tom fucking Savini.
Oh, dude. I'll go ahead and see if I want. Give us your
Well,
lowdown
no,
on
no,
this scene.
he's
Yeah,
actually no, he's actually in a later scene. He's when Django comes back
Oh, okay.
and shoots up the cabin with all the trackers inside of it. He's
Mm-hmm.
playing cards with two of the other guys. But no, that's Tom Savini's in the fucking movie, which is like I thought that was awesome. And then the first time I thought, well, maybe Tom Savini was the one who did the practical like effects of with the how the blood always spurts out and how
Mm.
gunshots are way over exaggerated,
I got him.
especially in
I
this
got him.
film.
I got him. It's
Yep,
the middle guy playing the
middle guy
cards.
right there. That's Tom
Middle
fucking
guy,
Savini.
middle guy playing the parts.
To
Okay.
those uninitiated, Tom Savini is one of the greatest practical effect makeup artists of all time. He's done work in countless films. Name a horror film franchise, he's worked on it at some point in time, probably in the better ones.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, we already did a full episode on a movie that he was also in and did all the practical effects. It is Dawn of the Dead of
Dead, yeah.
the
Well, that and
original
also,
Dawn of the Dead.
well, he did all the practical and makeup effects in the first Friday the 13th, which we
Yes,
also did.
yes, 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 as well. So go and watch those.
but
Yeah, for
but no, so
reference.
so I went down a little rabbit hole after that. So I thought, well, if he starred in the movie, maybe he did all of the special effects and makeup work with the practical effects. Like, nope.
Mm,
Went and looked it up. It was John McCloud.
It's John McCloud. All right, cool.
And I was wondering, like, so, what? I know the name John McCloud. Where have I heard that before? I know he's famous for doing a lot of movies. I looked it
Mhm.
up and I went, oh shit, he's done almost everything. Ties us back to what? Pirates of the Caribbean.
Pirates of the Caribbean. Yeah.
He did that. He
All
did
right.
Sin City. He did Grindhouse. He did the new Jurassic Park films. Did all the
Uh,
practical makeup in that, effects in that.
well, all
Like,
of them can go and burn in a rotten hell along with other things. I was never a big Jurassic Park guy.
no, you were absolutely right.
Not in the least the newer ones, which
Yes, I know,
you know
I know.
is
But
for me it's
Biffer,
just
you're
milking a
no,
dead cow.
I know, but Biffer, you're absolutely right. Yes, he was in From Dusk Till Dawn because Quentin Tarantino and Robert Rodriguez were adamant about having him in the movie because he also did a lot of the practical effects in that movie too, Biffer.
All right. Cool. It's very hard to get a shot where D'Artagnan is being ripped apart.
Part by dogs, yeah, which that was
Yeah.
by far that's the most uncomfortable scene to watch. And if you really pay attention, that's where the animosity that um yeah Dr. Schultz has against the concept of slavery really turns into I would
He
say just
basically in this part, he almost blows his own cover
yes,
because he offers to
to
pay
buy it
for
because he doesn't want it to happen.
D'Artagnan.
Yeah,
And it kind of shows his hand, I would
yeah,
say, and that's where we have the conversation of Django and Schultz, where Django is like you're blowing this, dude. You taught
yeah,
me better. Like
yeah.
you taught me better. Just relax and just continue on with the regular, on with our regular broadcast. Just relax.
They're like,
Um,
this is not part of the plan. We're
yeah.
not here to save them. Which,
Yeah.
oddly enough, is the oddest thing because Django goes against his own plan later, which we're going to get to because, oh my god, the heroes of our story are fucking morons.
Let me just switch this part. Yes. All right.
So that they end up taking him right all the
It
way over
had a
there.
big N word in the middle of it.
Yeah.
I've heard enough
Yeah.
N word in this.
Yes.
Like,
This is like,
let's just say this: this movie
I've had
contains
my full.
more N words than a Xbox 360 lobby. Like,
It's circa
for real, circa
2011 for Halo
2011.
3.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
it,
really
it
bad.
it's really bad. But
But
you
in a
know
way,
what?
it makes
Like we
sense
said,
though. Like
about the other Tarantino movies, none of like the use of the N word is um it's derogatory a lot of times, but it's not something that is not characteristic to a person in that particular time. Even
no,
the
no,
black people using the word as a derogatory word is very much of with the time. It's a big part of Stephen, Samuel L. Jackson's character, is the fact that he is mirroring his master's behavior with everybody else, including his relationship with Django. He mirrors Candy
helps. Yeah.
completely.
Which we're gonna get to the dichotomy the character the dichotomy of the character of Stephen Warren that's Samuel Jackson's character, but but
Yeah.
again his first instinct is to go, why the hell are you going to let this black guy stay actually inside the house? Are you kidding me? Why are you going to do that? Like,
Yeah,
no, you
he's
don't understand. He's our guest. He's also a free man.
yeah,
So
and Steven doesn't understand the concept of a free man. It's either a runaway or a slave. There is no free.
I don't think that's really the case. I think it's more the fact that he wants to the principles of the Candy estate to remain intact. Because given the conversation that he has later, the way that he can see through all of the charades like that
Yeah. Is
is
Steven
is
is not,
telling that he is not just some random fucking
you know what?
idiot. So
Maybe he's not mirroring Candy. Maybe he's mirroring Candy's father or grandfather.
father, I think more than anything, what he's doing is he's placating to make sure that Candy seems like he's the boss the whole time, regardless of whatever situation that he's in.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So in that way, he's showing respect to the master and also showing all the other white people around him that he's just this dumb house slave, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
In turn, he's the one who saw through everything,
Yeah.
which
He saw
we're gonna
through
get to. We're gonna get to though.
he saw through Well, we don't have a lot of time, so we're gonna have to blitz through. He saw through Brunhilde. He saw through Dr. Schultz. He saw through Django. He didn't know their plan, but he knew that something was not
Yeah,
right.
we'll go. We're getting there. We're getting there. But the whole thing was, well, we can just cut through a lot of this. So originally, they bring out Hildy from the hot box, which by the way is an old traditional punishment that they used to use way before the Civil War. By the way,
Oh yeah.
Th-
Oh yeah.
they used. The worst
They
version of that, it was called the oubliette, which was, oh boy, want to
yeah.
talk about a punishment.
Don't I know what it is. It's
Whew,
very bad.
terrible
Let's just
stuff.
say this. Let's just say this. We live a very, very comfortable life.
Life can, yes,
Even if you did something bad and you went to jail, and jails are bad, it is nothing. And I mean
nothing compared to
nothing
now.
like
No.
100 years ago, let alone 300 years ago.
Yes.
So yeah.
So the
Moving
the
on.
only the only one thing I wanted to bring up was the conversation between Hildy and Dr. Schultz, where
Yes.
again, where
Yes. Go
you,
ahead.
you get to see the more just how much of a good person really. I mean, granted, he is a little bit of a psychopath, but he's not a sociopath because he generally does care
Yeah.
about about the people that are around him. Like he obviously cares about Django,
Hmm.
otherwise he wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
And he also cares about now trying to get Hildy free, especially at the end. You tell that he ultimately cares and he makes a really, really dumb fucking decision, but we're going to talk about that in a second. The only thing I want to talk about in that scene was just the shock and surprise of when Kerry Washington, I think she plays this off perfectly.
Hmm.
When um when Christoph Waltz as Schultz is making the bed again, he's putting on his jacket and he's sitting down and he's just trying to confirm, like, you can drink the water, everything's fine. Like, I'm not going to do anything to you. In fact, there's a really good friend of ours, a mutual friend of ours. So, well, I don't have any friends. Yes, you do. He's right behind that door. I said,
Yeah.
promise me you won't scream.
Yeah.
I said, no, tell me I promise in German. And she said, turns around and it's Django. He said, hey there, troublemaker. She pours the glass and then faints. And it's like, that's actually how you would literally faint because you don't just instantly go black.
Yeah. Yeah. It takes it takes a
It
bit of
takes a
time.
couple of seconds,
It
but
takes a
yeah,
couple of unless you're getting punched in the face.
face that's
Yeah.
being knocked out, being
Yeah.
knocked unconscious. Fainting due to exasperation, that's a whole different thing. But the line that Christoph Waltz says and the way that he delivers it, I will never forget, and I think it's by far probably one of my favorite lines of the film, where he just goes, "You silver-tongued devil, you."
Yeah. It's basically this part.
Yeah,
Well, I can't really show not play it. I can show it.
yeah,
But yeah, this part. As the door opens, he's in the doorway and she's like, okay. Yeah, fuck. Yeah, all right. So
yep.
the jig is up. The doctor and Django are being discovered
At
because,
dinner, yeah, yeah.
at dinner.
And this scene, I know you hate DiCaprio,
Yeah.
but you
I
have
know.
to give him credit.
Uh,
This
yeah, I'm
was
sorry. Yes, I have to give him credit. I don't like him, but the way he portrays not only a slave owner and a slave trader, but he also is portraying the tropes of why the white man is trading in slaves. The trope that was very ingrained in people up to, let's say,
yeah, it's
1964,
well
a
the med,
100 years
well
later.
the medical concept of what they were trying to use was called phrenology,
Yeah.
which by the way was debunked as a pseudoscience many 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 many
Yes.
many
Yeah.
years
It,
ago.
it is a mega pseudoscience.
But the way that you realize that this shot was not supposed to be the take they wanted to use, right?
Okay.
They did so because when at the end, when DiCaprio slams his fist down, breaks
Oh,
the
he doesn't.
glass,
No, no, no. He
and
doesn't slam the fist. He slams the palm and
palm
he
breaks the
breaks the
glass.
glass he
Yeah,
was drinking from, and they kept rolling,
rolling. Yeah,
and he had blood streaming, not
out of his hand.
pouring.
Yeah,
It's streaming from his hand, and he had the well. That's why I give him credit. He had the mental faculty to keep with the
going,
character,
not break character at all.
not
Go like,
break
fuck
character
my
at
hand.
all. Oh,
Yeah,
dude, that I give him all
yeah.
the credit. All the credit.
That's why, like, there were actually other cuts of the scene that they had done before that Tarantino thought about using, but as soon as they did that, when they cut from in between,
Hmm.
where it's the long shot of him doing that entire monologue, that right there is actually fake blood in his hand.
That's fake. No, no, no. That's what I was gonna say. This part is after it was cleaned, it was sewn,
Yes,
or whatever it
that's fake
needs to
blood.
be.
No, he
This
did
is fake.
not rub real blood in Kerry Washington's face.
No, no, no,
The
no, no, no,
woman
no,
the
no,
woman
no,
that
no, no, no,
plays no.
no,
No.
no, no.
So no,
This
that
is
right
fake
there,
blood.
that's fake blood.
But when he slams, there's at least a few seconds. I think it's around 30 seconds
Like
where
it's yeah, where his
where
hand
he
is
does the slime. The camera doesn't move. They
yeah.
cut. They do a little cut to Django and Dr. Schultz's face, but
No, actually,
the
no, the
audio,
cut
no, the audio continues and it goes back to him
yeah.
with the bloody palm, and then it goes back and forth to what's the guy's name? His bodyguard with the shotgun,
Butch.
Butch. It goes to Butch, and then it comes back to this where what we see now on the screen,
No,
where he has the fake blood, and then he rubs it on Kerry
actually
Washington's
actually
face and everything.
where the cut actually started was when Kerry Washington is brought back in.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
That's where the cut is. So in between there, he has a good couple of minutes where he's just bleeding profusely from his palm.
Yeah.
But he's delivering those lines and with verve too, like man, like absolute conviction. I give just hands off. If there's anything about this film that is not only great but terrible at the same time, it's that rant that he does.
Yeah, I know. I know. All right. And it kind of concludes with it literally simmers, 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 and now it's going to boil because
Gonna boil over because
Dr. Schultz commits to an act that he knows what are the consequences of that particular act.
well, to be fair, you have to go first to where he said, well, right now in Maricopa County in Mississippi, if I wanted to, she's my property. I could kill her right now. And Calvin Candy has a hammer in his hand and is about to just brain Hildy.
Yeah,
Unless you're going to pay me the $12,000.
exactly.
Then it's supposed to now play off. And then it starts simmering where now Dr. Schultz's anger is simmering, and then it comes to a boil, and then it comes to a head.
Yeah.
But during that entire conversation after this, the one thing I did love is his insistence where he goes to the harp player and goes, "Stop playing Beethoven."
Yeah.
And then he just puts his hands over hers, just stop.
Yeah.
Then he walks into the library.
he is pissed at that point, like super pissed.
Well, because Calvin Candy is like, well, I think you're a sore loser.
Yeah,
And
because
Dr. Schultz retorts, I think you're an abysmal winner.
Yeah.
And they even have a conversation where they were talking about Samson and Delilah.
Yes.
And another story. It's like, well, another story like I know you like another. Given your affectation for French, you really love stories that are in French, right? It's like, yeah, like what about the Count of Monte Cristo? Like, yeah, it's fine. What about other stories? And like, you're a big fan of the author Alexander Dumas, then? Yes. Like, you know that Alexander Dumas is black.
Dumas, not Dumas. It's not dumbass, dude. Referencing another movie we're going to cover.
Yes.
Alexander Dumas,
Mm.
not Dumas.
Sorry, it's
but
been
okay, you're American, so it's fine.
It's been forever since I've spoken any French.
I know zero French, but I know Dumas just because of Shawshank. And also, I've actually read The Count of Monte Cristo.
So,
yeah.
It's actually a great novel, but
I don't like it. It's about a prison break. You're gonna like it. No, never mind. Right. So
It's actually not about a prison break at all,
it's
really.
not about a prison break at
No.
all. So Calvin Candy is taunting the obvious ticked off
Yes.
Dr. Schultz, to say the least.
And what does Dr. Schultz say here? So where she goes, it's a tradition in the South
Yeah.
to shake someone's hand at the end of a deal. And that's Dr. Schultz's response is obviously like, well, I'm not from the South, and goes to leave. Like, now,
Yeah, but you're in
if you
my
are to
house.
leave, you're in my house, and if you leave, I'll have Butch here shoot her.
Yeah, exactly. He puts so much pressure on Dr. Schultz, but he knows he's well aware of their situation, and because the jig was up, he's well aware, and he's playing his hand, but not knowing that Dr. Schultz has a breaking point, and he is breaking,
Well,
and
because he was
he
having
breaks.
during the scene
Now,
where they were playing the harp, that they were
now
showing the
when
fact that
he
he was
no
he
no
was
no
flashing back to seeing the dogs being murdered. But yeah,
when Dr. Schultz breaks, it's not out of not knowing what the consequences will be. He knows exactly what will happen if he shoots
it's
Calvin
just
Candy.
no. The thing was, it
He
was such a
knows, dude. You
no
can't
no
know.
the thing is, it's such a break for the character where it's like, listen, why don't you just come back later and murder him after they leave?
Look, I'm not.
This is the big number one issues of like, where our heroes fuck it all up right
Well,
here.
yeah, right here, right now. So he puts up in his hand. Dr. Schultz puts up his hand with a nice
And it's the same
with a
thing
nice
with
Dillinger.
Dillinger with a
Yeah,
pop up.
with a pop up, and of course Butch kills him, and all hell breaks loose. A lot of people get killed.
Django kills at least
At least 20
13
people.
people.
Yeah, 20 people.
And the poor motherfucker at the front of the door gets shot how many times during this altercation?
Oh, a million?
And they're not mortal wounds.
No, it's not. So Django gets caught, and he is.
Well, he doesn't get caught. I think
He gives up. Well, he
he
gives up.
gives up because it's Billy Crash, Walter Goggins' character, has Hildy by the head with a gun, and it's Steven, Samuel Jackson's
Yeah,
character,
yeah.
tells him like, if you don't give up at the count of 10, I'm gonna blow her brains out. And
Yeah.
Hildy's even telling him, just let me go, just like kill them all and let me go.
Of course.
But he won't do that because he's the noble idiot at this point.
The thing is, the gun battle kind of ends Act 2, and Act 3, which is a very short act, is all about retribution. All about retribution.
Which in a way we're going to talk about that. This doesn't make any fucking sense what he does later. But
I know.
well, the scene between Walter Goggins and Jamie Foxx, when he's held upside down, he's like, well, he's gonna castrate him essentially.
Mhm.
The only thing is, Steven gets him to stop because they said, well, what would be the worst punishment for you is to send you to the La Quinta mines because they're gonna work you to death.
Yeah.
That's worse than any punishment we can do. And if anything, if they were to castrate you, what's going to happen is you're going to bleed out in a couple of minutes. That's too fast for you.
Yeah. All right. So we are going to stop here and do Screen Fighter.
Round 1. Fight.
What is Screen Fighter? It's very, very simple. We take two movies, we pit them together, and we see which one is the best one. If there is no discernible winner, we are going to fall back on our criteria, which is Friday evening, Saturday evening, out with the boys, out with the girls, or with your significant other. There's just two movies. Which one will you pop in the VCR and play? Just kidding. Which one will you watch. So Django Unchained versus The Golden Compass.
I have to go with Django, but I love the fact that you have both of the Japanese posters.
Yeah, it's
Because you see the katakana.
totally random. I think wait a minute, is Golden Compass not the Chinese version?
No, that's
Japanese.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Because if you look at the top, it has hiragana kanji, and it also actually has katakana in the title.
Oh, that's okay. Got it.
Yep.
Jaws original? No, it's
that's Jaws 2.
2, and Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer 2 as well.
Both terrible sequels, but have to go with Jaws.
I'm gonna have to go with Jaws just because, and I'm not even joking. It's missing Galactus, like for real.
Yeah, they never show.
It's missing Galactus.
Yeah,
I'm not a big Marvel aficionado. I'm not a comic book guy.
No, but you know that the Silver Surfer is the herald of Galactus. Yeah,
and there's no Galactus, so go an F. Casino Royale, the Bond movie, and Raiders of the Lost Ark. Shall I start?
You can, but I already know what you're going to pick. But go ahead.
It's easy. It's Raiders, and I'll tell you why. It is the best Daniel Craig Bond movie.
Bond, yeah.
But, and it's a big but, it's Daniel Craig's Bond. So
yeah.
No.
I'm going to have to agree with you, unfortunately. That actually is one of the only Bond films that I actually like, which is saying a lot.
Okay.
But Raiders of the Lost Ark is still the best Indy Jones. So
it's not the best, but
yeah, it is.
We'll see.
Shut up.
Inside Out, which is a Pixar Disney movie, or Batman Forever, which is a Val Kilmer Batman.
No, that's the one with Jim Carrey and Tommy Lee Jones, right? The Riddler and
Yes.
Ooh, boy. And Drew Barrymore actually played one of the girls that was with Tommy Lee Jones in the movie.
Yes.
Why do I know that?
Had almost.
And wait, wasn't
4 lines or something?
Was Kim Basinger the love interest for Bruce Wayne
in the first one? In the first one, yes.
The first one, okay.
Yeah. She was Vicky Vale, yes.
Yeah.
Which is a very Marvel name, not a DC name.
Yeah, I know. A litter of names. I have to go overall because it's something that I wouldn't actually mind watching him again, especially with like watching one of my friend's kids or something, Inside Out, because at least has a positive story about how everyone's different in their own way. At the end of the day, you can kind of feel okay about watching Inside Out because it's at least trying to teach people not to be assholes. On the opposite end, you have Batman Forever, which is just a terrible movie starring terrible people doing terrible things.
All right, we're going to go with Inside Out, but it's not my pick. I'm going to pick Batman Forever. No. Hey, I will bow down to the chat. Pulp Fiction or Terminator?
Yeah.
Now, we all know what you're gonna pick. I'm gonna go.
Safi can die in a fire. Moving on.
Hey. Don't antagonize the chat. Wow. Okay, so chat says Terminator all the way. I
swear to God, if you pick up the Terminator, I'm leaving.
It's going to be Pulp Fiction. It's going to be Pulp Fiction. The Perfect Storm, or It's a Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown.
Have you ever seen that?
I have seen It's a Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. I have seen it. It is stupid, but I've seen it. It's the Halloween special for Charlie Brown.
Yeah. I prefer every other adaptation that they've ever done of The Great Pumpkin, where inevitably something comes up and eats the children. And Linus is the only one left, like grabbing his leg, going, "I told you it was coming for us."
Oddly enough, the chat picks The Perfect Storm. Are you insane? Wow.
I don't know. I think that movie's awful, but okay.
No, I don't want to antagonize the chat, but holy shit. Live Free, Die Hard, that's Die Hard 4, or The Lion King.
My opinion. It's one of the last good Disney movies.
I think chat is gonna go Lion King. Yeah, most like 100% Lion King. I want to go with Die Hard 4.
But it's just so bad. It's terrible.
I will submit.
The
Matrix
easy.
or Popeye.
The Matrix. As much as I love Robin Williams, I'm sorry.
Right. A couple more. We're gonna do Notting Hill or Mission Impossible. The first one with Tom Cruise.
I have to go with Mission Impossible just because it gave so many quintessential scenes that have become iconic in film. And
case in point, the
poster. But also, I have to give credit to Tom Cruise because he's one of the most prolific Hollywood actors that is adamant about doing his own stunts. Yep. And he works his ass off. So I have to give it to Mission Impossible. And also, Notting Hill's not that great of a romantic comedy anyway.
Okay. So, Notting Hill is my favorite Hugh Grant movie, and that includes 4 Weddings and a Funeral. It is almost my favorite Julia Roberts film, putting Erin Brockovich aside. Not joking. Better than even Pretty Woman. I've seen Notting Hill more times than I've seen Mission Impossible. I am married to a woman that really likes Notting Hill. But it's going to be Mission Impossible. And the last pairing for today, because we went a little bit long. X-Men or Wild Wild West? Shall I even ask? No, I will not. It's X-Men.
We're done. All right.
We are done with that. All right, cool.
No. I have to ask for this. Features jump scares of Alec Baldwin. You mean just by him showing up on camera? Because that's a jump scare in itself.
Yep.
No, Wild Wild West would have been great had they done what Schumacher really wanted to do for all of Wild Wild West. He had the giant spider. It was supposed to get even wackier than that.
Yes, because the producer was John Peters. Yeah. So, yeah.
It was going to get real weird.
It was going to get real weird. So, I'm going to, move forward
to the Quinta Mining Company. Now, again, Tarantino has to always have one of his cameos. And this one, why all of a sudden he had to...
Why did he try and do a South African accent?
South African or Australian. It's one of the two.
No.
No,
I'll tell you why it's South African.
There.
I'll tell you why it's South African. When he says "shut up, black," it's if you ever heard any South Africans, if you give a white South African man to say that particular line, that is exactly how he's going to say it.
Say it.
Exactly. Okay. I think there's a very similar line to that particular line in Lethal Weapon 2. There's something similar that they said to Danny Glover, and it sounds exactly the same. Exactly the same.
So South Africans are a little bit like
South Africans,
like New Zealanders and like Kiwis.
No, they're more like Dutch people.
No, where they can't actually pronounce like long A's. It's flick or flig.
Something like that. It's weird, but yeah, it's South Africa. You can tell when a white South African man speaks. That's exactly like that, or woman, by the way. So
No, but again,
Django outsmarts these
no,
trio of
given
dum-dums.
the concept though, given the context, why would it make sense that these South African men would be in the American South, and it has to be in the 1850s?
Yeah.
Why would they be there?
No idea. Absolutely no idea. Money? Slave trade? See? Saf says
No,
slave
how the
trade.
hell would they get there?
By boat?
But they would have to be at least second generation.
Again,
at that point, if they were second generation, they wouldn't have the accent.
Maybe it's not a South African accent. Maybe it's just a Dutch accent. And the Dutch, at that time, had a few families going over, you know.
Well, we know how the Dutch are.
Yeah. The Pennsylvania Dutch. Never mind. So these trio of dum-dums, they go to the other slaves to confirm his story about being a bounty hunter and about the money and the 12,000 or 10,000 or whatever. And they're like, oh, that seems reasonable. Here, have a gun.
Well, the one thing, they're obviously fucking idiots, but also Django is kind of a fucking moron too. Because think about it. Half a second. Now, I know inevitably he does do the right thing and ends up just letting the slaves that are in the cart free, because those taken to the mines are going to be dead anyway.
He didn't free them. The other guys who opened up the cage, they left it open.
Yeah,
they just left it open.
Well, no, but by killing those guys, he set them free.
Yeah,
that's the positive thing he did by killing the 3 miners.
Mm-hmm.
Why, again, our heroes fucked up multiple times? Because now Schultz fucked up by not just reining in his anger by saying, okay, let's get the fuck out of here. Let's get Hildy somewhere safe. Then we'll go back and then we'll murder everyone. Because we'll have the 2 of us. We're the best guns in the South. So we can take care of these guys, no fucking problem, right?
Yeah.
This situation, why wouldn't Django be like, okay, you set me free, you gave me a gun, why don't I take them with me, kill all of the people at Candyland, then kill them?
I have no
answer.
It's
called logistics, motherfucker. 4 people with guns on your side is better than going in solo, guns a-blazing.
You have to understand, at this point of the movie, making sense.
I know.
Was not on my mind.
Is right out the fucking window, but still, it's just more like, seriously.
It's literally the last 30 minutes of the movie, and the making sense part of from the moment Dr. Schultz pulled his gun and shot, the making sense part of the movie is out the fucking door. So he goes and kills Tom Savini and the boys.
Yes, all the trackers, which some are bit actors. The one woman tracker is Zoe Bell, which I don't know if you
she was the stunt woman, but then she was the stunt coordinator, and then he put her in Death Proof,
where she was the one who did the scenes where she was hanging and hopping on from moving car to moving car. This woman is not only insane, not only gorgeous, but a total badass.
Oh yeah, she's a total badass. So Django goes, saves Hildy, but then he has to take care of business. I like this part. yeah, this part. I can't show exactly the part, but yeah.
Oh yeah,
He
because
kills
he
Walter
shoots all of
Goggins.
them. No,
Yeah, he
no,
shoots Walter Goggins, the two guys that are with him. He doesn't shoot Steven.
no, he doesn't kill Walter Goggins. That's the important bit because he goes, "Last time, what you say you were going to take from me?" Oh yeah, and he shoots
He shoot him in
shoots
the
him
dick, yeah.
right in the dick.
Exactly. And he's like, and he tells the other two
And no, he says, "All you black folks, get away from the white folks if
Yeah.
you want to live.
but not you, Steven.
Not you,
Cause
not you, because you are right where you belong."
and like I said, like we said, the sense making in the filmmaking of the story makes also like complete. It's so weird. It's like, oh, say goodbye to Miss Laura. Bye, Miss Laura. And he shoots Miss Laura, and
She goes,
flies. She flies off the fucking. Oh my god, that was like.
it's like the
It's a
bullet had
cartoon at
an
this
explosive round inside of it that made her fly backward.
Sorry,
Yeah.
it was a total cartoon moment,
Yeah.
and it was okay. I
Yeah.
get you.
Well, then the last line too, where Steven finally he drops the facade with Calvin before in the library, where he goes,
Yeah.
they're trying to fuck you over, right?
Yeah.
And in this situation, he drops it where he goes, he drops his walking stick, his cane. Simon goes, so what are you gonna do now?
Yeah.
And she goes, for how many years, how many slaves have you seen come through this place? 5,000, 7,000, 9,000, 9,999.
Yeah.
You've seen everything around here, but have you ever seen a kneecapping? And he shoots him right in the knee, which I thought
Exactly.
was just like, that's a cool move.
That is a cool move. I mean, and he leaves him alive to get like
Blown up.
exploded. Yeah,
Which also, if
exploded.
we're gonna go for real life, that batch of dynamite wouldn't have completely blown up the house that way. It would have
It
done
would have.
a lot of damage.
I'll tell you what. It would have completely destroyed that doorway.
Oh yeah,
That's
but also
about it.
the shrapnel from where he went. Yeah, sorry, Django, you'd have gotten impaled on a piece of wood
Oh yeah.
from where you're
Definitely.
standing.
Definitely. I mean, it's movie magic.
It's movie magic.
But I did like the fact that when he goes out, Hildy's like, "Oh, it's time to go."
And she
And
she's the
and
fact
she
that she
smiles.
smiles and goes,
Yeah. It was so cartoonish. It was goddamn cartoonish, and I was like, yeah, it's fine. By the way, sunshades in 1864.
they existed. They did exist.
Oh,
Nope.
it's 1858. Sorry, it's 1858.
Nope. They existed prior to that, which
Okay.
I can perfectly believe him having sunshades.
But he's the only guy with sunshades.
No, the owner of the previous they showed him actually in the movie, the previous plantation that
Oh, Big Daddy?
not Big Daddy, the previous owner to that where Hildy and Django came from.
Oh,
He was
that's
wearing
right.
he was wearing like
What's the name of the actor?
Hold on, I can
Stephen
find it.
Dern. He's Laura Dern's father. Is it Stephen Dern?
Oh shit.
Bruce Dern.
Bruce Dern. Yeah.
By the way, in his picture, if you Google his picture right now, he is wearing not a Kentucky Fried Chicken Colonel's outfit, but not white. It's a black tux with the fucking thing, and he looks like a Kentucky Fried Chicken guy, the Colonel. Oh my god, it's fucking funny.
Yeah.
Google, trust me. Google it. Put it on screen. I can Google it, but
So don't worry about it.
it's Bruce Dern. It's Bruce Dern.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah. But no,
Uh,
him and Glass makes sense. But still, though, like, yeah, they would have been. Now, Hildy would have survived. Her hearing probably would have been impaired for the rest of her life, even though she went like this.
oh, by the way, that's enough. No, no, no. I'm not joking. It's enough. Even if at that close range. Trust me, I know.
I thought the concussive force would have blown her eardrums
The
out.
concussive force would have blown her brains out, but her hearing is fine. It's trust me, it's weird. It's so weird. But yeah, the blast wave might have for that big of a shot, but the dynamite is not the dynamite that they put in was not enough. It would have blown off the door, and the shrapnel would probably hit him at some point. Maybe
Yeah.
not kill him, but the sound that it makes is enough if you just put your fingers.
Yeah.
It's weird. Django would have had his ears blown
Blown
off,
out.
like
Yeah.
bleeded out, like.
Yeah, that's what I thought. But anyway, so yeah, they ride
And
off
that
to
concludes the movie.
they ride off to the sunset, and that's the end of Django.
Yeah.
Which let's do the wrap up.
Yeah, let's do the wrap up because
You start off.
all right, cool. All right. Obviously, I didn't like this movie. I didn't like this movie. I didn't like it originally. I didn't like it at all. I don't like any of the. I don't like the more modern Tarantino movies. I'm not really into Kill Bill. I know a lot of people are. I'm not really into Kill Bill. And like Death Proof, Hateful Eight,
Bad.
eh. It seems like after Pulp Fiction, it's a lot of downhill. But for me, is
So you think Jackie Brown was still a down point then?
Jackie Brown was on the way down. Jackie Brown is a movie that I've literally fell asleep in the movie and got up during the screening, and it was like, I'm okay with it, and I'm okay with it, and I'll catch it later.
Yeah.
It same goes with I said it with the Usual Suspects. And when did Usual Suspects?
By the way,
come in?
I find that it's blasphemy, but that's okay.
I know. I still don't like Usual Suspects until this day. But yeah, for different reasons. But yeah, Jackie Brown was just below Pulp Fiction for me. I know many people didn't like it. You didn't like it at all. I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
I'm fine with it. And it goes down and down and down for me with Tarantino. I just can't connect to this movie. Like coming back to this, the only character that I liked in this obviously is Dr. Schultz until a certain point.
Yeah.
Where it was like, yeah, I know what the choice was with the character, and
but
I
at that
know
point in time, again,
the consequences, but it seems
it was
out of whack.
antithetical to his entire mentality, though. That's the issue that I have
know.
with it.
I still like Schultz. What can I say? I like the portrayal of it. Django for me is sort of a character that got developed until the Mandingo scene, and then when the actual movie started, he was like,
For him to carry it, yeah, it kind of meandered.
nah. If you're saying that Will Smith says that he's not the main character and he doesn't want to play him because he's not the main character, there you can have that particular stance. But Jamie Foxx does a lot with the character. Because Jamie Foxx is a wonderful actor. He's a wonderful actor.
Yes, definitely.
I just didn't like him in this. I didn't like Django in this. I didn't like the whole movie and didn't like all the characters. Leonardo DiCaprio again. Calvin Candy. He's really good at doing Calvin Candy. I just didn't like a lot of what was made with the character itself. It is a writing issue rather than an actor issue. There are certain highlights in Calvin and Candy, but at the end of the day, it's still DiCaprio, and for me, it can destroy a movie. Like, I didn't like The Revenant, even though it is a wonderful movie.
Yeah.
I didn't like The Revenant. I didn't like Shutter Island. I didn't like
Oh,
fucking
Shutter Island's awful, by the
Inception.
way.
I didn't like Inception. I didn't like Titanic. I didn't like those movies.
Yeah.
And one of the reasons is DiCaprio.
Did you like The Departed?
I haven't seen it in a long while. I'll see it.
Actually,
We're
it's
gonna
a
watch
fucking
it in
movie.
about a month. We're
I know.
coming in about a month. I like Jack Nicholson in it, the character,
Yeah.
but even though he's not really a
Whitey Bulger.
great guy, yeah. But yeah, having DiCaprio in a movie can ruin the movie for me. Did it ruin the movie in this one? Not particularly, no. A lot of the writing kind of was off for me.
Okay. So for my take on it, I think the major thing that really destroyed this movie as a concept in itself is the fact that it is not a sequence of vignettes or stories that move back and forth. Like a lot of previous.
Sorry, I'll stop you there. I'll stop you there. Catch Me When You Can.
Catch Me If You Can. Yeah, that's
it. A lot of what I like about this movie is Tom Hanks rather than DiCaprio.
I know. We talked about that. That's like one of your favorite Tom Hanks films.
Yes,
too.
It is.
It's a great movie, by the way.
It's a great movie, and DiCaprio doesn't
No.
ruin it.
No, the major issues that really put the kibosh on making this a great film is the fact that it doesn't have those little vignettes that fill the time the way that other Tarantino films do. Like even with Kill Bill making it Volume 1 and Volume 2, it suffers from a lot of the same problems that Jackie Brown had, where there's a lot that is said that doesn't need to be said, and a lot shown that does not need to be shown. They could condense this movie down so much. And I know a lot of it's like, oh, it's a lot of character development. Is it really though? No, it's not. There's a lot of superfluous nonsense.
Yeah.
In the film. That's what really drags this movie down. Overall, though, this is definitely not Tarantino's worst film. Not by a long shot.
No.
I think after the Inglourious Bastard, which I think was just him having fun, so I'm not taking that into consideration. I think his worst film that he ever did was Death Proof. But it was supposed to be Grindhouse. It was also supposed to be kind of a side project with Robert Rodriguez, but still, it was a Quentin Tarantino film. He wrote and directed it. He wanted it to be a big Tarantino project. That movie is fucking awful. Yeah. Watch it once. It's one scene that lasts way too fucking long, and then a chase scene that lasts way too fucking long. That's the whole movie.
Yeah.
Now, for Django...
By the way, another interruption. I also fell asleep twice in two different settings
during Death
watching watching Inglourious Bastards. I'm going to tell you backstage the stories for them, because otherwise it's going to take all night. But
we'll talk about it later.
I, to this day, haven't finished watching Inglourious Bastards.
Well,
Continue.
That also gets into its own different thing. No, actually, Dust Till Dawn was actually Robert Rodriguez.
Yes.
Tarantino
was in it.
And he was a producer of the film.
But he didn't write or direct it.
Nope. That's why Tarantino was also a producer of Sin City, and then also the what the fuck, the other part of the Grindhouse movies. It was Death Proof and can't remember the name.
And the other one.
It was awful.
The other one.
That was also awful, which they at least tied in together, but it was still awful. But at the end of the day, I think Django stands as, in its own right, it's still a movie, I think, as we mentioned backstage, watch once. It's a fun watch once. I don't think you need to rewatch it again. Overall, the commentary that they want to make has been done way better by way better films. Like, I don't know, go watch 12 Years a Slave. Go watch that instead if you really want some really biting social commentary about how slavery was really fucked up in American society in the 19th century. Like, go watch that. But again, I still think it's good for a watch once. It's not as bad as I would say Jackie Brown, which I think is Tarantino's worst film. Jackie Brown for me is a movie you could never watch and still say, I've seen every good Tarantino film.
Okay. Even worse than Death Proof?
Yeah.
All right. Cool. One thing I want to touch upon that I forgot.
Robert De Niro randomly becoming a rapist near the end, which made no fucking sense. Yeah. Jackie Brown goes in places that makes no fucking sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to touch upon.
We can review that movie someday. By the way,
there are a lot of points in this movie that mirror spaghetti westerns, and one of those points, and we fail to touch upon them in any other movie, is the music. There are like 5 or 6 minute blocks of music or score, I would say, that is very much spaghetti western score. If you go watch Good, Bad, and the Ugly, it's almost a 3-hour movie that had a lot of 10-minute blocks of just score, and something happens on the screen.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that because initially, the song Django at the beginning was from the movie Django.
Interesting. The whole where they take him up in shackles, the whole start.
That whole song.
It was like, oh, this is a spaghetti western.
Yeah.
It literally teleports you there.
Well, that, and also there was one artist that he was working with at the time that was the composer of it. He got turned down by Tarantino to score the film because Tarantino didn't want anyone to have like exclusive movie rights to the majority of a film of his.
Yeah.
And oh boy, Morricone, once was his name, said that he would never ever work with Tarantino again. Then in 2015, Tarantino made The Hateful Eight, and Morricone scored the whole fucking movie. So, yeah, never
yay Hollywood, yay Principles.
3 years.
Principles, yes, Hollywood and Principles. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I still haven't watched that movie because I
know a lot of people hate that movie. I hate the Bruce Lee scene as well. Biffer, like I absolutely hate that scene because it has no actual relevance at all, and it was a perversion of things. But also, this was supposed to be in the alternate version of the Tarantino verse because at the end, when he kills the people at the Manson family,
haven't seen them. Haven't seen the movie. Relax.
You already said you don't care about spoilers, so boo.
No, shush. There's not caring about spoilers. So please tell me the ending.
Oh, and also, it bears no meaning to the whole fucking movie anyway. It's literally the last 30 seconds of the film.
Just don't spare me. You can tell me the ending of the third sequel movie in Star Wars, but not that. All right. We are about to wrap up, and when we wrap up, we usually watch the short version. So here we hold.
Okay.
Go.
Okay, here we go. The short version.
The North Star is that one.
Which everybody's staring at.
So for the time being, I'm gonna make this slavery malarkey work to my benefit. In other words, Marshal, you owe me $200.
I want you to take them to the Greenville auction and sell them.
And now, Django, you may choose your character's costume.
Then I don't know what you want, Big Daddy.
I like the way you die, boy.
Oh, nobody brought an extra bag.
Calvin Candy.
What makes you such a Mandingo expert?
Bright day, huh, bright boy?
What about my $500?
That's who the hell you calling Snowball, hoss boy?
Oh, fool. Don't fool me, bitch. You know what I'm talking about.
Now lay your palm flat on that tabletop.
White cake. I say goodbye.
Shut up, Black. You ain't got nothing to say I want to hear.
Bye, Miss Laura.
I guess that was an accurate
Yes, that was
depiction of the movie.
the only line that I wanted to add there that we did forget to mention was when they were at the Big Daddy's plantation was
Yeah.
the one I forgot the slave woman's name, but the one showing Django around goes, "Wait, so
Yeah.
you a free man?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you ain't got no massa, yeah? So you chose to dress like that?"
Yeah. Which, dude,
It's so funny.
the guy dressed like a dumbed down version of Austin Powers. I'm not even
Well,
joking.
No, which I told you where it came from before in
Yeah.
on screen. So.
I know.
Anyway.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us tonight. Before we leave and we do all the stuff, by the way, I didn't say too much like and subscribe and get in touch with me. If you want to get in touch with me, comment section down below. It's fine. I'm not going to put up lower thirds. But yeah, we are live simultaneously both on YouTube and on Twitch. If you want to go to our Twitch channel, you can hop on there to the Reel McCoy podcast. There we go. Next week will be something different, something that Tarantino did not direct, but he did write.
Right.
It is True Romance with Christian Slater and Patricia Arquette and James Gandolfini.
And
right?
also Gary the Old Man.
Gary the Old Man. Yes, so that is next week, ladies and gentlemen. Like, share, subscribe to the channel, share this around for people who like movies. And until next week, we will see you later.
Take care.